Hello. In this speech I will be briefly discussing the Falkland Island conflict between Argentina and the United Kingdom in 1982. First off, I would like to start with a quote from a Pink Floyd song of the same period. You will be able to find this in the information box below the video. Right. Brezhnev took Afghanistan, Begin took Beirut, Galtieri took the Union Jack, and Maggie, over lunch one day, took a cruiser with all hands, apparently to make him give it back. These 6 lines come from the album The Final Cut, which was the band's last album with its bassist and the leading lyricist. These lyrics as well are from the same person, Roger Waters. And they refer to a series of conflicts that took place in the period and are in that sense really rich in political commentary. The first line with Leonid Brezhnev I think needs no introduction, as it refers to the Soviet Union's invasion to Afghanistan. Begin is the former Prime Minister of Israel and a controversial man who in one hand obtained a Nobel Peace Prize for succeeding in creating peace between Israel and Egypt, but at the other hand was really criticized for his notoriously hawkish politics in international politics. It was during the term of Menachem Begin that Israel, for instance, bombed Iran, and the invasion of Lebanon that happened also in 1982 is what these lyrics indicate, so Beirut being the capital of Lebanon. And finally there are the last 4 lines which hint or refer to the subject of this speech, the Falkland Islands, the conflict of the Falkland Islands. Leopoldo Galtieri is of course the Argentinian dictator who ruled the country at the time, and Maggie is the Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at the time. Right, if we should look at the map or at a globe of the world, we would see that the Falkland Islands lie on the southern end of the Atlantic Ocean. This is approximately 8,000 miles from the British Isles, but only 310 from the continent of South America and Argentina, incidentally. So it is no great surprise that when the Argentinian forces invaded the islands on the 2nd of April 1982, distance was most definitely an issue, meaning that it was expected that due to the large distance between the British Isles and the Falkland Islands, the United Kingdom would not retaliate. But nonetheless a British task force was dispatched already on the 4th of April, that was 2 days later, and it took them almost 2 weeks to get to the area at the southern end of the Atlantic Ocean. The British operations on the Falklands commenced on the 1st of May, and the islands were back under British control by the 14th of June. Now I do not want to talk very much about the specific details and military details about the operation, except that both the SAS, the Special Air Service, and the SBS, the Special Boat Service, received, of the British Armed Forces, received a huge praise for their efficiency in this operation. And the Falkland Islands conflict was also the shining moment for the Harrier type jet plane which possesses the capability for a vertical takeoff, and that was something that really came into use during the conflict. But what I would like to talk about are the far-reaching effects the Falkland Islands conflict had into British internal politics. After the Suez Crisis, which was somewhere around in 1950s, the United Kingdom had been rather hesitant to enforce its will on the remnants of the old British Empire, and was, I would say, rather reluctant to play an active role in the foreign policy, in the international arena as well. And we can imagine that this was one thing that the Argentinian side had counted on, that there would be enough hesitation from the United Kingdom to not respond in a military action. Even though the media response during the conflict was rather mixed, the apparent success of the Falkland Islands War really gave a boost to Thatcher's popularity, resulting in a landslide victory on the next elections. In fact, the Falkland Islands conflict was so successful that Thatcher would be in power for another 2 terms, during which she underwent the majority of her economic reforms. So it would seem that the United Kingdom and Thatcher's government really gained more than they lost with this conflict, which is somewhat ironic, as this was something that the Argentinian junta perhaps had wanted. But what they had failed, as after the conflict Argentina would undergo a revolution of its own and become a democratic state. But coming back to the 6 lines from Roger Waters, one could say that with its staunchly anti-Thatcherian position, this is a very much a minority voice during the time. Even though I think that if we look at the lyrics in a more extended manner, one could remark how little the world has changed during the last 30 years, and the areas of conflict he mentions back in '82 still very much exist now. Right, thank you.